Right. You've always consistently refused this criticism on human rights, on a democracy that's not exactly a democracy, always saying this comes from the West or Western media or Western organization. Don't they have a point at all?
Wouldn't I have a point if I criticized the Western democracy?
Sure.
Yeah. So what is the problem? If democracy is not going to be perfect anywhere, anyway, at all, as we have seen, as we always see, we see that, you know. What I don't like is just the hypocrisy. You are so deep in your own mess about democracy, and then you think you have authority to come and make criticisms about others and even want that to have a consequence on them.
In this video, we'll take a look at this interview between this journalist and the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. In this video, Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, puts this journalist in his place whilst he keeps questioning him about democracy and what is practiced in Rwanda. I don't know why he would like to poke his nose into the affairs of the country of Rwanda when they are deciding what they want for themselves. So let's watch this video and then listen to the interview. Then we'll come back here and talk more about it. But before we watch it, if you haven't yet liked this video, kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's watch the video together.
It's just hypocrisy. And am I supposed to accept that?
Well, as a last question, you were elected in 2000, so 22 years in power. The next election is scheduled in 2024. You haven't said whether you would run, but do you consider running or?
Well, I consider running for another 20 years.
Really?
I have no problem with that.
Really?
Yes. Yes. But
This means the president.
We're talking about elections.
Yes.
Again, this is the contradiction and the hypocrisy I'm talking about.
Well, there could be limit on the mandates, right?
Elections are about people choosing, isn't it?
Right. When they're free and fair, yes.
And that's yes, okay. But you haven't at least of all the criticisms you have had, nobody has said the elections have not been free or fair. But we have had it in other places that people don't even talk about, including even people who complain about us. So don't you have, right now as we speak, we are having cases in the developed world about elections.
Right.
You remember not so long ago, there is a case going on somewhere in a very advanced democracy about
yes, in the United States, yes.
Somebody who wants to. So this is, I think people have to decide what they want to do for themselves. You see, you have problems of your own that somebody should be questioning, and then you want to, be the one to dictate what I should be doing. At the same time, even with the contradiction, because if you are talking about elections, and the election is about people choosing.
Yes, sir, but
and
there could be.
You are saying if it is free and fair, but that has not been the accusation. The accusation is different. Even the one you started, you are not talking about how free or not free the elections are. You are talking about just having to choose so many times. I think that this is different.
Right, but people could say, I'm not going to be president for life. There should be limits.
Which people are you talking about?
Well, you have debates in many African countries about 2 terms. I mean, we've had it, you're having it in Senegal, in Ivory Coast and others, because they say a person after a while in power should leave and maybe...
That's fine. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But people can also say a different thing. So which one are you supposed to accept? People can say that, yes, and I would accept it. But if they said the other one also, I would accept it. So what is the issue here? Anyway, why would anyone be so concerned about our own situation, which the people of Rwanda seem to be happy about, that is working for them, But somebody says, no, that should not happen in Rwanda. We haven't been questioning what is happening elsewhere. As I said, if you criticize me, I'll criticize you, because there are things somebody is doing that are not right, even against me, and then he comes around and starts blaming me for what I'm doing that is working for me. For me, I'm just even basing on simple logic.
Welcome back. So in this video, this journalist kept questioning the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, on the issue of democracy. So the white man has sold his idea of democracy to us here in Africa, expecting each and every country in Africa to go by this democratic principles or democratic rules, just as they call it. But some scholars have said or suggested that democracy is not really for the people of Africa, or even if we will practice democracy, there should be some reforms as regards democracy. Some countries, even though they practice democracy, it is mixed with a little bit of autocracy, and this, in some cases, is helping some of the countries. Countries that are going purely democratic are facing a lot of challenges here in Africa. Now, in this video, the President Paul Kagame of Rwanda keep challenging this journalist keep speaking on democracy or suggest democracy to the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, but he keeps asking him back and forth questions as to why they are poking their nose in the affairs of Rwanda. The people of Rwanda are happy about the rule of the president, so I don't see why this should bother the West or the Western world. Paul Kagame has been in power for over 2 decades, but his people still love him and his people keep voting for him. Now, Rwanda is one of the growing economies in Africa. Their development is very swift and very fast. So personally, I don't see who should be there to be president if the president over there is delivering for the people. That is, there is development in the country. Whoever is president does not matter. Whichever political party is there does not matter. So far as they have a leader who is able to help develop the country and the economy, whether they are practicing autocracy, democracy, what other crises, I think it does not really matter. I don't know why the West does not want to keep to themselves but keep poking their nose in the affairs of Africa. African leaders are now putting things in place in order to help the continent develop. So the influence of white people, I think this is an obstacle to the development of countries in Africa. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to share this video to your friends and your family. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you again in my next video.